Today it is fairly routine. I mean, we haven't flown this aircraft in quite some time. It's part of our preparation for the hurricane season. We have a brand new data system on board this aircraft that we're going to be testing out. We've got a updated radar system that we're going to be testing out also. We're going to take off from here, head out to a buoy, which is approximately 100 miles to the west-northwest of Tampa. We're going to go down to 500 feet to check out one of our instruments that gives us a measurement of sea surface temperature. Once we finish that run, we're going to climb to 10,000 feet and we're going to deploy 3 of our GPS drop-sons. 2 of them have been modified, so we're going to see how their performance is. We're going to monitor the data as the son travels down to the ocean. We're going to be sending messages throughout the flight back to the Hurricane Center to make sure our communications with them is working properly and also that the data we're sending them is accurate. This is a GPS drop-son right here. This is the parachute that's deployed once the son leaves the aircraft. And the chute, as you can see, is a little bit different. It's sort of what I call a balloon chute. It was designed to reduce the shock to the instrument as it left the aircraft. What it measures for us is wind speed, wind direction, air pressure, air temperature, and relative humidity. And we get those measurements twice every second as the device falls down to the ocean surface. We're monitoring it throughout its fall to make sure that the data is accurate. Once the son splashes in the water, the signal terminates, so we lose communication with it. We do have its software program which does a quality control of the data to make sure all of that is okay, and then we format into a uniform message which we send to the Hurricane Center that they evaluate, and then is also sent to the computer models up in Washington, D.C. to make the forecast for the track of the storm. And these aircraft were built by Lockheed back in the 50s and 60s for the Navy to do low-level work in chasing submarines. So when we were getting our other aircraft, our DC-6s were getting up in age, we decided to go to the WP-3D Orion. The aircraft is built for this kind of activity by flying low and slow, which is what you have to do for science sometimes in these types of conditions. Our aircraft are well maintained. They're flown by people who know exactly what they're doing. I have no issues about going into any kind of storm with these aircraft. Certainly our G4 aircraft is not designed to do that. It's to fly at the altitudes between 40 and 45,000 feet away from the storm, deploying GPS drop-sons to get a vertical profile of the atmosphere, which then is put into the models and gives the models data in regions over the ocean, which usually you don't have any data. And this helps in forecasting where the storm is going to go and whether or not it's going to get stronger or weaker as it goes on that track. So I've been on missions where we only went twice into the center of the storm. I've been on other missions where we went 21 times into the center of the storm. It all depends what the objectives are for that day. My dream had always been to be a hurricane forecaster, and I did work with the hurricane forecasters for a few years before coming over to this job in November of '86. So being now in the heart of the storm, sending information back to the Hurricane Center in real time is really something else. And the other thing that's really wonderful about this job is all the places I've been to. We do a lot of weather search all over the world. We don't just do hurricanes. So there have been a number of places like Ireland and Hawaii, Alaska, the Solomon Islands I've been to, and just places I never ever thought I would go to. And that's been one of the great joys of this job.
I am a P3 pilot, and I fly our WP-3D Delta Hurricane Hunter aircraft for NOAA. Definitely, I think that the mission that we do is very important, not just for the coast of Florida, but for the entire United States. The data that we get out of hurricanes both helps predict the track and intensity, and it's invaluable. And we learned that last year with Hurricane Irene that came up the East Coast. it's a very important job that we do and a very important product that we give out to the public.